Welcome back, folks. In today's video, I'll be working on the concept of exponents from chapter 1.4. So some of the basic rules I'm going to start with. So for example, if there is xy raised to the power m, then this, and I wanted to open this up. So this m is going to shift to with this one and also with this one. So final answer will be x raised to the power m and y raised to the power m. So basically when we are writing this, it's like this: xy raised to the power m. Now whenever we are writing any term, there is always a hidden degree of 1 here. There's hidden degree of 1. So what's happening is, so let me sharpen up my pencil. So x raised to the power 1 times m, and then y raised to the power 1 times m. That's what's going on. And 1 times that particular number is that number. So x raised to the power m and y raised to the power m. That's what happened. So just what I wanted to tell you, the takeaway from this one is that if there is nothing on top here, it means there is 1 on top here. The degree is 1. All right, and then x raised to the power m, and this is n. So the final answer will be x raised to the power m times n. That will be the answer for this particular formula. And x raised to the power 0 is always equal to 1. And if I write it as x, y, z, whatever power can be here, 1, 2, 3, and then raised to the power 0. Oh, just stop this video and try and answer this one. So welcome back. So hopefully you were able to guess the answer right, or you were able to got the right answer, shall I say, not the guesswork. So the answer for this one is 1. Again, y, we'll see. So 1 times this will go with this one, x 1 times 0, and y raised to the power 2 times 0, and z raised to the power 3 times 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0, x to the power 0, y to the power 0, z to the power 0, and then 1. This x to the power 0 is 1, y to the power 0 is 1, and then 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is, final answer is 1. So that's how we got the answer for this question. Now, another thing with the exponents which I wanted to tell you, where a lot of students do make mistakes, is if this is the equation given to x raised to the power minus m, the final answer is, for this one, is x raised to the power m on the denominator. So basically, if the exponent is negative, and then to get rid of this negative sign, we will shift this term into the bottom. So because there was nothing else, so we wrote 1 on top, and then this goes in the bottom. And now where the student make mistake is, they also start writing minus x raised to the power m as 1 over x raised to the power m. That is wrong. This minus, which is with the base, is different from the minus which is with the exponent. So if the minus is with the exponent, only then the term gets shifted into the denominator. Another thing which I want to tell you, where students make a lot of mistake, is x raised to the power, let's say if it is x raised to the power minus m, and on the bottom it is y raised to the power n. Now, so because this exponent belongs to only this top term, so only the top term is going to get shifted down. The bottom term is not going to go anywhere in this case. So 1, and then x raised to the power m, and times y raised to the power n. That will be my final answer. Now, if it was x raised to x upon y raised to the power minus m, then what would have happened? Again, I would like you guys to pause the video and try and do it yourself. So welcome back. So let's see what the answer you guys got. So let's try and match your answer with my answer, shall I say. So in this case, this minus m belongs to this also, this minus m belongs to this term also. So what's going to happen is x raised to the power minus m, y raised to the power minus m. I'm giving you the detailed version, and then later on I'll tell you the shortcut for this kind of a question too. So now this will go on the bottom. So this will be 1 upon x raised to the power m, and then this will go on top. So 1, and this will be y raised to the power m. So just reverse their position, because the negative was with this, negative was with this. This became y to the power m and x to the power m. So I could have written it like y upon x raised to the power m also. That's how you can write it too. Now, basically what's happening is when the negative was outside the bracket, so it means this negative belongs to both the terms. Then you can just flip the position of the two terms inside. So again, I'm going to give you a question. So let's say a to the let me sharpen up the pencil a little bit. A divided by b raised to the power minus 5. So the final answer can be written as b upon a raised to the power 5, and then you can also write it b to the power of 5, a to the power of 5. Now if it was a to the power of minus 5 divided by b, then let me just correct this one, a to the power of minus 5, then you would have written it like 1 a to the power of 5 and b as it is. Okay, so that is the difference. So I hope this difference is clear to you guys, that how to move the terms to the top and the bottom. Again, if it was minus a to the power of minus 5 upon b, then this minus stays as it is, 1 upon a to the power of 5b. That would have been my answer. This minus you cannot eliminate any which way. Okay, or if you have another minus with the bottom term, you could have cancelled it. Otherwise, you just cannot just, the exponent rule doesn't apply to this negative sign. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's take a question from the exercise. So I'm going to try and take the question which I'm taking from this is the book Basic Technical Mathematics and Calculus, which is by Washington. And I'm doing a question from exercise 1.4, and then the version is 11th edition. So the question is question 44 on the book, that is 2b to the power of 2 y to the power of 5. Again, please, this question, if you are only using the 11th version, otherwise your question can be a little different. So try and understand the concept rather than looking into the particular question where it is from. So now I wanted to simplify this question. So what's going to happen, this exponent is negative outside and belongs to both the terms, so I can flip the terms, y to the power of 5 and 2b to the power of 2 and raised to the power 2 here. And now I can distribute the terms inside. This is going to go with this is going to go with this 2 also, and going to go here also. So if there is nothing on top of 2, it means there is 1 here. So y to the power of 5 times 2 and 2 to the power of 1 times 2, b to the power of 2 times 2. That'll be my answer. Now I just gonna compile the answer, y to the power of 10, 2 to the power of 2, b to the power of 4. That's the final answer for the given question. Now let's look into another one, that is 16 x to the power of 2 y to the power of minus 2, and then divided by xy to the power of minus 1, and to the exponent is minus 4. Now in these questions, what's going to happen is, first of all, I'll look at within the bracket how to simplify the brackets. So this is x to the power of 2. So can I simplify within the bracket? Same concept of bed mass I'm applying. So bed mass. So I'm solving within the bracket first of all. Can I simplify? Yes, I can simplify. If I look into the previous question, there was no similar terms or same terms. In this one, there is a b on top, there is y on the bottom, there was no b on the bottom, and no y on top too. So now in this case, there is an x on the top and x on the bottom too. So I can simplify within the bracket. So 16 x to the power of 2 minus 1 and y to the power of minus 2, and minus minus will become plus 1. So the rule which I'm using is x to the power of m divided by x to the power of n. This becomes x to the power of m minus n. That's the rule of exponents which I used here. Okay, and now 16x to the power of 2 minus 1 is 1, y to the power of minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1 to the power of minus 4. Now what I can do is I can bring this to the bottom. So 16x to the power of 1 and divided by y to the power of 1. Just to make it simple, what has happened is, if there is nothing on the bottom, this means there is 1, and then this goes on the bottom and becomes y to the power of 1, and the exponent is still the negative 4. Now I cannot further simplify within the bracket, so I'm gonna look at this exponent. This exponent belongs to all the terms inside the bracket. So what's going to happen is y to the power of 1 going to go on top. 16 is also going to go on the bottom because this exponent belongs to the 16 also, it belongs to this and to the y also. So 16 will go on the bottom, x will go on the bottom and raised to the power 4. Now I can open the exponents and my final answer will be y to the power of 4, 16 to the power of 4 and x to the power of 4. And this you can simplify with the calculator what is the value of 16 to the power of 4 is. All right, let's quickly look into one more question, that is y to the power of minus 3 and then minus raised to the power 5. I would encourage you guys to pause the video and try and answer this one. All right, let's see what's the answer you guys got. And now minus y, and this will open up the bracket, so this will be minus 15, and then minus will remain on top 1 and y to the power of 15. That will be your final answer. You could have just moved this down and then open the bracket, then open it up also. That would have been also right. So something like minus 1 upon y to the power of 3 to the power of 5, and now minus 1 to the power of 5 and then y to the power of 3 times 5, and then that will be minus 1, and then on the bottom it is y to the power of this will become 15. Now I'm going to change this question. While doing this question, something came to my mind. If it is minus y to the power of 3 and then to the power of 5. All right, now let's see how can, rather than 5 it was 4 here. Now what would have happened to this kind of a question? So now I will write minus 1 y to the power of 3 on the bottom and to the power of 4. Now minus 1 to the power of 4 and y to the power of 3 times 4. So this will become minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1 on y to the power of 12. So that will give me 1 upon y to the power of 12. Okay, because negative times negative is a positive, times negative is a negative, times negative is a positive. So this will become my answer in that scenario. So this brings me to the final topic of the day, final concept of the day. Minus 1 raised to the power 2 is 1. Minus 1 raised to the power 2 is 1. Please make sure when you are putting the values in your calculator, you are using the correct way. If it is if the 2 is outside the bracket, then you must put in the bracket in your calculator also. If you're going to write it like this, well, this should be minus 1. So if you're going to write it like this, your calculator is going to think minus 1 times 1. That's what the calculator is going to do. So this minus is outside. So that's what calculator is thinking in this case. In the top one, calculator is doing it like this, minus 1 times minus 1. So hopefully you understand the concepts of exponents. I'll see you in another video. Till then, goodbye.